Yo, what's up, guys? It's the Insane Game Freak here. Back at it again. Oh, that was way louder than I planned it to be. Back at it again with another video. So, this is a little non-traditional for me because everyone's like, oh, this is the Pokemon channel. Well, it is. But there are other animes that are coming out that I care about. And My Hero Season 4 is about to come out. Which
Woo!
so, we still have similar faces, just for a different topic. So, to introduce everyone, KG, hi, how are you doing, sir?
Good.
Oh,
Thankfully.
he's a good goose today.
Yeah, I'm being good for today.
Oh, for today. Tyrone.
For now.
How are you?
Prasa Ultra!
Oh, and Polly, I don't know how you're going to follow that one.
I'm not.
Oh.
The fact that that was the follow-up, I think is
Yeah,
great.
I would say, yeah, that's how she's gonna follow it up.
There we go. That's actually the perfect response.
Nice.
Kill them all. Because we haven't really taught My Hero on this channel, we're gonna do kind of some basic background in terms of how you were introduced to the series and what do you like about the series and that kind of stuff. And then we'll gradually build into the hype that is season 4 with best villain, but that's a whole nother story. To start off, you know what? I'll start the opposite direction. Polly, how were you introduced to My Hero?
I'm just the favorite here. It's fine.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm gonna say that's a fair assessment.
Yeah. It's
Just kidding.
Yeah, we just like to pick on you because it's funny for the.
The other two
reactions.
ingrates are always on.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I'm an ingrate.
Well, you are a rodent, so I mean that's kind of close.
Oh my goodness. All right.
We have a rodent, a goose, and a frog.
Walk into a bar. Yeah, dude, I heard this joke already.
Ironically enough, I feel like my icon is the perfect reaction. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Oh.
Anyway.
Go ahead.
So I've been seeing this like pop up pretty much everywhere, and like I'd say maybe like late 2016, early, like all throughout 2017, and then, I had reconnected with a friend who like I hadn't really, like we just kind of lost touch, and then eventually reconnected, and he actually got me into the series because we met through Pokemon, but in recent years he had gone into My Hero Academia, and I kept seeing him reblogging / retweeting just artwork, official artwork, and he even drew pictures himself. And the first time we actually met up in person, first of all, it was actually at a convention, and I saw like pictures on the walls and like wall decals, people cosplaying, and I was like, how popular is this show? Like it is like such a big thing. And keep in mind, I've never watched like the main 4. Like I've never watched Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, like Fairy Tail, any of those. So I didn't like. Everyone's like,
that
"Oh,
she put Fairy Tail up there." But that's a whole nother story.
I don't know. Is Fairy Tail like the main?
I mean, Fairy Tail isn't like up there, but it is popular.
It's popular,
enough to be
but
recognized.
it just doesn't fucking.
I always view Fairy Tail as like One Piece's younger cousin or something.
Okay,
that we
so
don't
One
talk
Piece,
about.
Fairy Tail.
Yeah, that's too generous, man.
One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, and
I think that's
pretty
fine.
much that. Yeah, One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach.
Unless you want to include new things like Attack on Titan and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I thought there was another one.
Of the show.
Dragon Ball sometimes winds up in it. Yeah.
Dragon Ball is technically the father, and those are like the 3 sons.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. So everyone's like, "Oh, well, don't you know it's probably going to be the new Naruto like sort of thing." And it's more like I was just tired of seeing like it's everywhere. I'm like, you know what? And I think one of our other friends said like, DJ said like, I think you'd actually really like it. So one day I literally just like sat down and started to watch it, and I watched the first few episodes, and I thought it was a pretty cool idea. But maybe since I wasn't really introduced to like all the characters yet, I like put it off for a while because at the same time I was actually also watching Hunter x Hunter, and Hunter x Hunter is one of the best.
Hunter is so good. It's so
it's
good.
so good. So
that's another
like,
discussion for another day.
Yeah,
I'm not
trying
to compare the two because I know they are compared a lot. But I just happened to be watching it at the same time. I was just getting into it also. So I wound up finishing Hunter x Hunter first, and then eventually I like decided to go back to My Hero Academia, and I binged all of it because I wound up just getting so invested. And like by that point, obviously, I was introduced to the other characters, and kind of all the rest is history. I don't know if is that as far as I should go.
Yeah, for right now that's fine.
Give us a synopsis of how you got
because we're gonna talk about like characters and stuff like that. So I think it's fine that's a good starting point. Some would say that's a good origin.
Yes.
So Tyrone, you're next.
I actually found the show on accident. I was watching anime on Crunchyroll, and the internet always.
Not sponsored.
What? No, I'm not. No, I wasn't. God damn it! I just happen to have a Crunchyroll account. Sorry. And the internet has a weird way of obviously knowing what you're doing, obviously because the FBI are watching or whatever. I don't fucking know.
Wow, that's
but but while I was watching all this anime, I was in college, and it was a weekend. I wasn't doing anything. I scrolled on Twitter, and every time I scroll down on Twitter, Crunchyroll kept saying like, "Hey, My Hero Academia is out. You could check out My Hero Academia." And I just kept seeing it so many times, and I don't know, maybe it was just the way the art style was or something. It reminded me of Marvel. Because of the way the My Hero Academia logo looks. It looks like a Marvel, like Marvel's fine. And I was like, okay, this looks cool. I'm going to go check it out. So I typed it in. I watched it on Crunchyroll. And I got to say, I like the idea. I like the setup. I am a little disappointed at the how they chose to solve the main character's overall issue. But at the same time, once I saw how every episode felt like it felt like every moment in every episode was earned. There was never a moment where I felt like one day the main character got what he needed. I always felt like whatever came at this point, the main character and all the other characters that are in the series, everything's earned. Like there's nothing that happens for no reason in the show, at least how it started in season 1. So I was hooked, and at that point I just was watching it consistently every week, and that's saying something because I'm not one of the type of people who waits a week after to watch the next episode unless it's like Pokemon because my channel. But yeah, so at that point I was like, yeah, I'll watch this every week just to see the episodes and catch up. Otherwise I'm going to be out of context, and when my friends talk about it, I won't know what's going on. So yeah, that's what was going on.
And Kevin.
It's very basic. I just wanted to watch something, and that just popped up, so I just decided to watch.
Hey, sometimes, I was like, sometimes that's how you find the anime that you start loving. Is like it just showed up.
Yeah,
I didn't find it.
I had shows I want, like, because I watch a lot of anime. I had anime for almost every day, except for that one day when My Hero Academia was airing. So I was like, okay, I need something to fill me up for the day. And My Hero Academia was showing. I'm like, okay, first episode is out. Let me give it a shot.
My Hero Academia filled you up.
God
yeah,
damn it.
It filled me up with all that plus ultra goodness, man.
Oh my god.
He knows what he's doing.
I know he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's fucking with y'all.
I guess mine's is kind of non-traditional. So I got introduced to My Hero through the manga. At that point I had become way more of a manga reader than an anime watcher. And I had read Hirokoshi's last series, which was called Barrage, which only had like 16 chapters because it didn't do well in Shonen Jump. And I thought that series was like, his art style is really fucking cool. But it was like, oh, this new series. Hirokoshi has a new series coming out. I was like, really? I hope this one actually lasts a while. And I think the whole American like superhero really clicked with me, like, which I think was the whole point. I mean, I would obviously say My Hero definitely caught on a lot here in the West because of its superhero like
Yeah,
basis.
this was during the time where Marvel was really like getting somewhere too.
Yeah, so I feel like it's almost like a flash in the pan. It was such a like perfect coincidence. It was fucking awesome. And that's how I was introduced to it. And I kept up with the manga, and then I heard the anime adaptation was coming out. And I want to say this right now. When I heard Bones was animating it, and for anime fans who know their animation studios, Bones is like that's top tier, sir. So when I saw that, it was just kind of like, all right, that's dedication. I'm dedicating I think it was Saturdays when it came out, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Saturday.
Every Saturday is My Hero Academia Day, and I never fucking looked back. So that's
the guy who made My Hero Academia, the one you mentioned earlier. I think he says in an interview he was a fan of Naruto.
Oh yeah, you can definitely tell.
Yeah, he was actually a big fan of Naruto, which is I think is ironic because My Hero Academia has the potential to basically be better than Naruto to me.
Yeah, it's weird because of the new Shonen Jump titles, My Hero and Black Clover is the other one, get highly compared to like to One Piece and Naruto all the time. And I definitely think My Hero of the two of them takes the most beats from Naruto. But now we're gonna kind of free for all it because we're gonna talk about characters.
Woo! And there's a lot of them motherfuckers.
Now listen. We're gonna limit it to begin with. Favorite characters in Class 1A. We'll hang there, and then obviously eventually we're just gonna spill over to everything. But I'm just curious. Favorite characters in Class 1A. I'm gonna say Polly for last because I already know.
Oh, come on.
we know.
Well, you went first the first time.
Yeah. She's like, I didn't. She was like, I didn't ask to go first. That was the problem. No, Kevin. Favorite characters in Class 1A.
Oh, just one character or just?
I guess you can do top 3.
I was saying there's a lot. It's hard to pick just one.
Yeah, do top 3.
Yeah. All right. So if I was to just pick 3, I would have to go with this in any order, by the way.
Yeah.
Tokoyami, Suyu, and I want to say Jiro.
Damn.
Good choices.
That's interesting. Okay. I'm not.
I love the ones that are normally in like the sidelines.
Yeah.
I feel like they add a lot.
Okay. Tyrone.
Jiro, Kaminari, and Deku.
Fuck. I should have said top 5 realistically, but
they're all good characters. Like even Sugar Man is good.
No, he needs actually more focus in an arc.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
that's
the fact that I didn't know his name and I just called him Sugar Man.
Oh no, it's
Sato.
Sato.
Oh yeah. I just called him Sugar Man.
Because
he just reminds me of that Muscle cartoon I remember watching back in the day.
Kaniku Muscle. What is it called in English? Muscle.
Why isn't a superhero named Sugar Rush?
That's the best name for him. To be fair.
Yeah.
And obviously, all right, Polly. What are your top 3?
Top 3 in 1A are my boy Kirishima, Bakugo, number 2, and number 3 is Sero.
Oh shit!
Yeah, actually, fuck. All right,
the tape guy.
Mine seems.
Fuck yeah! All right.
Yeah,
no one ever picked
I love
him.
Sero.
I feel bad because now mine seems really unoriginal.
He had a really good moment recently, so I do have respect.
I've actually enjoyed him a lot, especially thanks to the second season. No, the third season of the anime, because he gets a few more moments in there.
In the hero licensing exam, he actually does some really cool stuff.
Yeah, it's weird because I actually don't have a favorite character in My Hero Academia like at all. I actually I don't like a lot of them fluctuate a lot with me, but I guess the 3 recent characters would be Sero is one. This one's kind of weird, but Anima, I forget his name. The character who can talk to ants and animals and shit.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Coda?
Coda.
Yeah.
Coda's he's another one of those
So
I
cute.
like, but he doesn't get enough screen time.
Yeah.
And then the third one, The third one usually ends up being Deku. Deku just ends up in my top.
Yeah,
three.
Deku's dope. I have
That
another
was in
one.
my top two.
Yeah, I have another one in that area. It's Momo, but it's for the dumbest reasons.
Oh no, yeah, that's free ball. That's just talking about class 1A.
Yeah. Momo's in my favorites, but it's not like earned, unfortunately for
really,
me.
I like Momo though.
She's good as a character, but Momo's
she's had what reason? I need to know the reason first.
It's Momo. Look at her.
She's pretty.
Thank you, Molly. Literally,
I
the
was-
show points it out too. The show is literally like, you got this internship.
You know
because
why?
You're pretty.
Because she's a cute fucking rich girl who's like not an asshole, and it's fucking adorable.
Yeah, that's like the one thing that caught me off guard because usually rich characters always get depicted as being assholes.
Yeah.
But for once, there's like a genuine person who's really trying her hardest to do right with with the money
to
she
be
has.
fair, and I'll say this now before we get into any of the other characters. My Hero Academia does at least, while some characters do get shafted, but they like My Hero Academia does at least put in an effort to try to focus on all of them. It's not like fucking Naruto and Bleach where they introduce a bunch of characters in the second season and then don't do nothing with them for the rest of the series.
Yeah, I hate that.
I don't want to talk about things that make me sad, Tyrone. That shit.
How many times do you see Tintin do anything?
Hey, I like Tintin. Fuck you. All right, I like Tintin.
Who?
Shut
Exactly.
up. Shut up, guys. You guys are terrible.
Isn't that a dog?
No, it's. Oh no, I know what you're thinking of. You're thinking of like Rin Tin Tin.
But there's some like the characters. I think I know why it's hard for Terrell to pick a favorite character because it's hard to pick a favorite character in 1A. They're all good.
I
think
agree,
because I think for me it's more so that like none of them hit exactly the kind of character I like. Entirely, they all have like elements. Like for like recently, I've really been into Kaminari, especially due to some of his later scenes in the manga. And some of the scenes in season 3, I was like, "Fuck, I like you now." It's him and Sarah.
He's my number 4. He's honestly, he and Sarah are very, very close to being.
I'm actually really surprised no one put Todoroki on the top of their list. He's always seen on the top of the list.
Todoroki is not my type of character. If you know me well, I never go I like him. Like, I think he's a good character, but he's just not my type. I don't go for the stoic Zuko Todoroki.
He literally looks like
funny because I actually really love Paul from Pokemon, but like Paul is
we're gonna make
a different
references, guys.
category.
We can't get away from
Here.
that.
Oddly enough, I think that's the point of Todoroki's character too, because Deku pointed out his backstory seems like something you'd see in a manga. He says that exact word in the show.
Yeah,
I go for. There's very specific types of characters I go for, and it's never like it doesn't even have to be a guy. It could be a girl too, like the very stoic, angsty background types.
Yeah.
It's just it doesn't mean that they're not good to me. I just don't gravitate to them personally.
Yeah,
well, see, it's weird because one of Polly, one of your favorite characters, Kirishima, is exactly the kind of character I fucking like in anime and manga.
So cute.
It's so weird.
You know what he reminds me of? And for those who've seen it, he reminds me of like Josuke from JoJo Part 4. He's very like, or Kuwabara from Yu Yu Hakusho. He's that like. It's funny because he's also
your mission.
Yeah, he's also voiced by Yusuke's voice actor in English, which is fucking great.
Yeah. It's weird. Kirishima, I didn't think much of him until like the series continued because of his relationship with his friendship with Bakugo.
And have you read ahead, Tyrone, at all? Not that
I didn't read the manga.
You are going to fucking love him.
The reason that I like Kirishima,
I know he gets like an upgrade though.
No, you know you're gonna love him all around.
The reason why I like Kirishima is actually because of what happens later on.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that's one of the other things is like just when you think this show is like backing a character into a corner, they come out of pure nowhere. Like the belly button laser beam dude fucking comes out of nowhere and becomes a beast later. I'm like, where'd this come from?
Oyama gets a nice scene in season 3 that I really appreciate. Because I think he was the one that got the closest to like hitting the kind of notes in a character I like, where he like outwardly pretends to be like super like flamboyant, but like hides this inner depression, and I correlate with that shit too much. So it was
if you get into the show, prepare to not axe any character out. Don't put any character in 1A down for the count. They'll magically pop up and be fucking useful. Like Mineta is the shit at some point.
Yeah, I mean Mineta, like I remembered the whole thing he did where he covered his mouth
Yeah.
and then just used his hairball, whatever you call
Oh,
it.
to beat Midnight.
Yeah, and then he specifically made sure not to go and grope, I guess.
Yeah, he had to self-discipline himself.
Yeah, he's like, not today.
But you know,
Yeah.
the funny thing about Mineta is, if you've ever seen like some of the test scores in the episodes, you notice Mineta's relatively smart. Like Mineta's like top, I think he's like the top 10. He's top 10, I think, in the class, and people don't realize that he's a smart dude. It's just his perversion is what gets him in trouble. He's not the smartest, but he's definitely like he's in the top.
This show to me is kind of like what happens if you made everybody Shikamaru in some way, shape, or form.
But with an unfortunate little twist added to them.
Right, yeah. Like, because Shikamaru was one of those characters in Naruto, I was like, oh, okay, this is some guy. And then he wound up just becoming a boss.
Well, Shikamaru, I appreciate it because he essentially represented like people who had the potential inside them to get shit done, but their inherent laziness or will or like procrastination is what caused them not to.
Yeah, I even like the female the female love interest, I guess, in this show. Rabbity.
Oh, Uraka?
Uraka, yeah.
She's great.
Okay, listen, real quick, because I know Polly's already revealed her best boy. But for us guys, who's best girl? Who's best girl?
I already said it. I said Momo already. So.
Kevin?
Mina.
Fuck! Damn it! See,
obviously, he was gonna pick Mina.
Best girl either.
Wait, why would you say obviously he was gonna pick Mina?
Yeah, why?
Wait, what?
Tyrone was like, obviously he's gonna pick Mina, and I was like, why?
Yeah, if anything, that statement will be better if John said that, not me.
What does John go for the aliens?
I think so.
Mina.
Really?
He loves Mina, so.
Really? Okay. Because for me, it's weird. Mina's one of the. I think, ironically enough, it's due to like Polly mentioned before about how later on you really like Kirishima. That also made me really appreciate Mina too.
Yeah.
Because of the kind of character she is. Like that's just her personality.
Sorry, I had to step out for a second. I said Mina would be an obvious one because KG, it seems like someone KG would pick.
Oh, so it was based on like just general feeling?
Yeah, I just know KG well enough to know that was probably going to be the choice.
Really? Okay.
See, I never would have expected. See, Tsuyu, yes, I can see KG liking, but.
Oh yeah, like Tsuyu, I absolutely do, but I wanted to go.
Tsuyu has a huge following, by the way. I want to point that out.
You know what's weird? But she's like the character. She's shown so much, but we really don't know much about her unless you like read some of the.
There's an episode exclusive for her.
Oh, the OVA.
Yeah, the OVA.
Yeah. The internship OVA.
Yeah. That one's like filler. Like I think they made that.
Well, yeah, but they gave her first of all, she's one of the few characters to get her own episode. Like Deku's not even the focus in that episode. It's her.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that she's not in Polly's top 3. Realistically.
I know, it's funny. A lot of people. Oh, like Tsuyu is definitely gonna be your number 1. She's up there too, but I like the Baku squad. Like I just come to love to have so much affection for all of them. And I'd say honestly, Jiro is also my time. If I were to do a best girl.
Yeah.
See, I love Jiro. I love how cool she is. She's just really cool. Like it feels like she doesn't have to.
Calm in a lot of situations.
Yeah. Also, she's got a very level head.
Real quick.
Also, because of later on.
Okay, I was gonna ask Polly how far you were in the manga because.
Yes, I'm pretty much caught up. So
you already know about it. Okay, all right.
Yes, I already know.
Okay. Jiro, that's the one thing I started appreciating about the later arcs in My Hero. They finally started giving other characters pushes.
I think they just needed to just sort of progress the story a little bit before they could start focusing back on the characters is what I assume.
Also, you got to admit, Deku obviously was behind. He's behind a lot of the others, not just because he didn't have any powers, but because even though he has powers now, he just got his powers. These characters were born with their powers. So we had to follow Deku's journey to get used to his powers.
Yeah, and also it would have been weird had Deku been above all the others who've had their abilities for all this time.
Yeah, that's why I felt like I said before, I said earlier in the video, I said I wish that Deku had just been a fighter, he trained and used his knowledge, but he has no quirk. That's his whole thing. and he still wound up being like a great hero. But I can live with the fact that he got his powers of all for one, only because I can get used to it. Only because for the first 2 or 3 episodes, he has to work out, like he has to train like every day, and he gets better and better. You see his progression, so his body can get used to it. So I'm not disappointed by it to the point where it turns me off. It just, I would really have liked to see him not be the Batman of this show, but be like, you know, use his various knowledge, because they build it up. Why did he take all those notes in his notebook if he's not going to use them to his advantage?
That's like my main frustration with Deku. I like Deku.
He only did it once.
Yeah, that's my problem. Like Deku, you know what? And this is the part about My Hero I think really reminds me of Naruto, in the sense that I think My Hero's greatest strength is how it's able to hit you in your heartstrings. It's a show that can pull on emotions very easily. I think the problem though is that sometimes I feel like it forgoes like strategy in its fights to do so. It's kind of like I alluded to it, I think, when we were talking the other day about how I'm excited for season 4, but the ending of season 4 is what I'm not going to be like super excited about, because I'm not a huge fan of how the next arc ends.
Me neither. Yeah.
So it's kind of it's a weird situation, but I know we talked about Class 1A. I'm gonna humor this. I know for some of us who've read the manga, this will be easier than for others, but do we have any Class 1B favorites?
Yes.
Oh goodness, 1B.
I have one.
Kendo is best girl.
Oh, you.
Kendo, really?
I
Who's the
fucking
Kirishima?
love.
Who's the silver version of Kirishima?
Oh, Tetsu. Oh, Tetsu.
Tetsu.
He's one of my favorites.
Kendo's one of my favorites.
And
Actually, I
also
like the girl.
Monoma.
I like the girl who can make the objects or whatever stick to the stuff permanently. Or was that a girl or a guy?
That can stick to stuff permanently.
Somebody made it. Okay, so 1B actually did this cool thing where Bakugo was getting kidnapped, and they stuck an item on the thing that kidnapped him.
Oh, you're talking about the guy that was with Momo.
Yeah, but there was a girl there
He's
too
like
for
spiky hair and
1B.
a bandana thing.
Yeah, Yosetsu.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I could be an asshole and just be like, I like the guy who copies everybody else's powers because he's such
I like him. He's
bitch.
one of my favorites.
I love him.
Monoma's pretty entertaining, and I will say after an arc in the manga, Honeki got really fucking cool to me. Now, Honeki in the anime has not really been shown much, but if you've read one of the recent arcs of the manga, you know why Honeki kind of went up in my book.
What's
You know
the
who
one
needs
dude-
more love, though?
He's the dude who has like the teeth that's constantly showing. Like he almost looks like a skeleton, but he actually has like a face and hair.
Oh,
Yeah.
is he? Yeah.
Because
KG, what were you gonna say, by the way?
I'm saying there's one character that needs more love, though.
who?
Fukidashi.
Fukidashi. What is his ability?
Something about making mangas.
Oh God! I know you're talking about manga. His first name is literally Manga Fukidashi.
Yes, it's a manga Fukidashi.
Oh my goodness.
You
His
are-
ability, his
Wait.
quirk is literally comic.
Is the science girl, is she from 1B? Or is she from a different school altogether? No, she's from 1B.
Wait, Science Girl.
The girl that loves science. Her power, she doesn't really use her, like, her quirk isn't useful for battle. It's
Oh,
useful for her
are you
doing
talking about
science.
May? Are you talking about May, the one that
Yeah.
builds shit? No,
Yeah,
no.
she makes
Isn't the,
outfits and shit.
No, that's the support class.
Okay, but is she so she's not in any class?
No, she's not in the main class. Remember, we got the main hero courses, which is
Oh, okay, got it.
yeah, but she's part of the support class.
I like her.
You just.
Who's the Vine girl?
Oh, you're
Oh, yeah, the Vine chick.
Shiozaki, yeah. The one who, for some reason, like, I don't know, is she supposed to be religious or is she just very, like, angel-like in her life?
I think she's just angelic. Yeah.
Angel-like in the way she presents herself.
Yeah,
It's
she's just very angelic.
1B's kind of a weird class because, like, we see them in the beginning of the series relatively early, but they don't get shown for a while, and then later in the manga, they're, like, highly focused on again, and it's kind of...
I feel bad for them.
Yeah,
They're
Where's the
underrated.
one dude?
They feel like more fun to watch than 1A at some points.
What's the one dude? I feel bad for him. He's like he basically has a villain's superpower.
Oh,
but
you're
he
talking about Oh God, what's his name?
He takes control of people's minds.
Yeah,
and shit.
brainwashing. What's his name?
Oh, Shinzo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shinzo.
Yeah, but he's not a part of
No,
one
He's
B.
one. I thought he was 1B.
He's like training and that. Well,
Yeah.
I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's spoilers, and I'm pretty sure season 4 is not gonna get to it because there's like another.
Okay.
There's another
Well,
arc.
yeah,
that,
I feel
that-
bad for them too because the running joke for 1B is that they're less than 1A. Like they point this out in show.
Which is weird because some of these characters have pretty good abilities. Some of
Yeah.
them do. It kind of floats around depending on who. It depends on, but like I said, in the anime, you haven't seen a lot of them, so it's understandable if like people didn't really. That's why I said Tyrone. It might have been harder for you, but like for us, some of us who've read the manga, we're like, oh, we've seen some. Of
I
the
mean,
great
for
moments.
the what's the event called? The tournament they were in.
Oh, the
Tournament of Power.
No,
yeah, that.
No,
The
wrong
sports
series.
festival, I think.
Yeah,
it
The
was.
sports festival. Yeah, for the sports festival, they did a good job of showing off their personalities enough to where I could at least care about them.
Yeah.
Most of them are shown.
Like I said, My Hero Academia has a huge cast, but they don't drop anybody for real. They don't just they're not just characters with colorful hair, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, can I talk about a character who's not a part of any of it though?
Oh,
That
no,
I
no.
really love.
Oh no,
a lot?
we've now.
Yeah, we're gonna go to
expanded-
Outside Realm.
Yeah, just
Okay.
outside realm. This includes villains, teachers, whoever you want to go.
Yeah.
Other
All right, so
heroes.
my choice is just part of the heroes. Hatsume,
Hatsume.
Mei Hatsume. I believe.
No,
that's
we were
her-
talking about her earlier. Yeah.
Okay, no, but I'm just saying. I just wanted to share my sense on that. It's like I just love her character, man. She's just so goofy to
Oh
watch.
yeah. I
I
like
like
her. Yeah, I love her.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I think she just flows very well with the class of 1A though.
It
In my
does
opinion.
feel like she belongs in 1A. She's not a part of 1A, but
She's her own thing, I believe.
Yeah, she's support class, right?
Yeah.
That's what I feel about Shinzo. I feel like Shinzo actually could like has potential to go to 1B.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I
after
think he's
He
gonna be a
gels
1B
well with
kind of
1B.
character, not a 1A. which
yeah,
hurts.
considering how well he did recently, I imagine he'll probably be in 1B relatively soon. It kind of just depends on where the story goes next because
Yeah,
we've
you
been
never know.
But
Yeah, maybe they'll kill off a character and he'll
Hey,
take that.
That's the
position.
only
Relax,
thing.
yo.
I'm not trying to. Well, I don't know. Maybe I should save that for when we.
Let's talk about who's your favorite pro hero / teacher.
this is kind of hard because
I thought
Really?
everybody would pick what's his
Midnight?
name?
All Might.
Yeah, not well, yeah, All Might, but not what's the guy?
Oh,
he's basically
Aizawa.
the Kakashi.
Yeah,
He's
Aizawa.
basically the Aizawa.
Eraserhead?
Eraserhead. Thank you.
Yeah, I was.
I
going
thot
with-
everybody would pick him.
He's
Yeah, he's-
alright.
I like him for his personality. Like he's just open shit, and
Yeah, he
What?
has-
but he's so like, you could tell he just loves his class too, and he's very protective of them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, like
Um,
I appreciate him, but for some reason, like he's not really. Ironically enough, if you ask me who my favorite like pro hero has been as of recently, it's probably been Endeavor, but it's probably for like
Really?
Well, it's another. Damn it! There's too much manga things.
Well, no, I like to back it up, because I didn't really care for Endeavor at first. The backgrounds they were giving him, and he's the evil daddy. But as the show's gone
evil
by,
daddy.
after they fought what's his name, Stain.
Yeah,
After they
Mhm.
fought Stain, and they dealt with all of that, I started to grow a lot more respect for Endeavor and his rivalry with All Might. So I actually do see him as a pretty cool character.
the other one I like, but I more like visually is the ninja one. I forget his name. We just saw him recently in the last season.
Snipe? No.
Is it
Snipe?
No. Snipe is a whole different character. That's the guy.
Ninja.
You would know him if you saw him. I forget.
oh, wait, is he the one that like has the red ribbons?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
I
I
like
forgot what
his.
his name is.
I like his name. I mean, I like his flips. I like his design a lot. But like the problem is some of the pro heroes haven't really got a lot of spotlight because they're floating
Yeah.
between them.
They're
so
mostly
much.
just serving as teachers. Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say this right now before the anime comes out and everyone starts shipping her with everybody. Ryoko Ryuko is a bae, and for those who don't know who Ryuko is because she hasn't shown up yet, that is, I'm just gonna say dragon, and that should give you a good hint.
Okay.
Uh,
I think Mount Lady's kind of cool.
She's cool. I like
Mount Lady and Midnight are fetish fuel. They are fetish fuel to the T.
Well, yeah. Well, Mount Lady is more of just a pervert, whereas Midnight is fetish fuel. Because Mount Lady just makes ass puns all the fucking time.
See, and Midnight is kind of like the double standard of what happens when it comes to perversion. Like when Midnight is being perverted towards young men, it's like, oh, that's silly Midnight. But if it's the other way around, it's super creepy.
Well,
right.
Well, that when you realize her whole thing is that she loves youthfulness, like that's literally.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like it's a weird thing. But go ahead, KG.
Uwabami, I believe that's how you call her.
Oh, the snake girl.
Yeah,
the one that Momo and
yeah, they were in that class. Well, not even a class. What the hell was
the
it?
internships? The internships.
Yeah, in a studio or some shit like that. They weren't actually in an actual class or something.
Yeah.
And I just love that whole sequence. But yeah, her character is great. But as mentioned before, I think one of the big issues is just that a lot of characters suffer because they just don't get enough time to develop as characters.
Yeah, I think they should have some episodes just dedicated to the pro heroes doing something.
Just do a side story. I think that would be better.
I mean, the closest we got was when they kidnapped Bakugo and the pro heroes had to get him back.
Even though that starts as more of an arc for like Deku and
yeah, for the others, but the pro heroes do a lot in that, but that's the most they've done.
Yeah, from what the anime has shown.
I feel like that's the most they've done so far. We haven't seen them. I mean, the principal, the dog or mouse or whatever that is.
No, Panda.
Mr. Principal.
It's a
Mr. Principal.
It's a fucking.
What is his quirk? What does he do?
Oh, they tell you. He's a polar bear. He has like, what is it? He can like it's a mental thing. Like he can. Go ahead.
Enhance senses.
Yeah, like hold on. Because I was going to compare it to somebody, but that's a spoiler.
See, the struggles.
Well, I'll say, first, I just want to say my favorite pro hero is also somebody that hasn't shown up yet.
Wait.
Polly, get closer to the mic, or we can't hear you.
My favorite pro hero is also somebody who hasn't shown up yet.
She's buried her face into the pillow.
No.
I don't know.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, we can't hear you clearly.
It sounds like your mic is muffled.
Okay, is this better?
Hold on, say something.
Yeah, you talk.
Hello?
Yes.
Slightly better.
Okay.
That's better.
Yeah,
okay,
that's better.
Okay.
My
favorite pro hero is Hawks.
Oh, I already know why.
Okay.
I already have a few reasons why. I'm curious. Is it design related at all?
Yes.
Okay, I figured that was part of it.
What's the practical joke lady that keeps joking?
Joke?
Yeah, I love her. She's fun.
That's Aizawa's wife. That's already confirmed.
Yeah, she's like, let's get married. Stop joking.
Like literally, I think she just has a thing for Aizawa, and like she just.
I just thought they were married, and that was the whole joke.
I think they are married. They will be married. If they're not married, they will be.
Let's make babies. Shut up.
Oh, okay.
I
found the principal. Due to his high intelligence, Nezu is capable of formulating incredibly intricate battle strategies, allowing him, from a single vantage point, to destroy an entire industrial zone. Oh, sorry.
What?
Shit.
No. That's from like the first season. No, the second season.
Yeah. He says that in the exams.
I will say it's also interesting that My Hero has like a bunch of interesting lore. Because like how you don't know how the hero, some of these heroes you really don't know how they got their name, other than they did cool stuff in the past, but you don't really know.
Yeah, what that stuff is.
And Nezu's probably one of the more interesting characters because I think it was Recovery Girl who mentions, his weird quirk, like the way he acts when he's like super hyped up, apparently is somehow related to the experiments that were done on him, and I'm like, experiments for what?
Oh.
Like there's hidden lore behind a lot of these characters, and I'm curious like how deep
Yeah.
how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Yeah, I also love how expanded this world is. I love how even though everybody has superpowers, they all like the superpowers themselves don't define their looks. You got characters who look normal, like normal humans, and then you got characters who just look weird for the sake of being weird. It has nothing to do with the fact that they have a quirk. They just look weird. Like
Right.
they look so abnormal, and I love when worlds do that because it makes the world expansive. You should never have a world where almost everyone looks identical because then you limit your area of creativity. Like some of these characters look the way they look because of their quirk. But some of these characters, they just look weird. Like that's just how they look. Like this guy looks like this because it has nothing to do with his quirk. He just looks like this.
Now, the next thing, the last stop on the character list is obviously villains, and
chilling with the villain.
I'm not happy about this section.
I hate all the villains. I'm just kidding.
It's not that. It's because there's one particular character of the villain squad that like people won't shut the fuck up about, and I'm burnt out on it.
Who that?
It's a her. That should be a hint right there.
The girl that likes Deku and wants to suck people's blood.
Man, I'm so tired, dude. When she,
I think it's because she's a yandere.
That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
And apparently yanderes are. I'm not gonna lie. I've had my
yanderes are popular ever since fucking Future Diary opened up the door to that shit.
Listen, I have my moments, but Jesus Christ, did Toga get so much fucking popularity just because of how crazy she was?
Yeah, I would say she
reminds me an awful lot of what's her name from the Joker series.
From the what series?
From Batman, Harley Quinn.
Oh, Harley Quinn.
Oh, Harley Quinn. I can say that. She seems like a very sadistic chick.
Yeah, she's pretty disturbed, and it's I don't know. It's weird because it's even like Twice, who's pretty much just an evil version.
Twice is my favorite.
I wonder why. He literally is like an evil version of Deadpool, which isn't really that different from like Deadpool. That's what he reminds me of.
Pool Day.
Yeah, that's really what he is.
I'm gonna be generic as hell, but my favorite villain is All for One, and the reason though being is because
get the fuck out of here.
Shush. The reason being is because even though, and there's something about him. Obviously, I don't know the rest because I didn't read the manga like you guys.
No, there's not a lot that's been talked about as far as.
Well, they put him in jail, right? And it's so weird. You ever see a villain in jail and they're so cool about being in jail, though? Then that gives you that odd feeling that they're still up to something. That's the feeling I get when I look at all for One. I'm like, they locked him down. They put all these locks on him, yet I still feel scared around him. Why is that? What are you, Blacker?
I feel like you like him because of his presence then.
The mystery of it all, yeah.
Yeah, and I will tell you right now, they have not said much else in regards to him in the manga. So, literally what you know is about what we know, except for maybe like one or two scenes.
Yeah, they're probably either
even then they don't add anything.
I want to say they're probably A, saving him, or B, he's planning to pass his shit on to the next up and coming.
I will tell you this, Tyrone. My favorite villain is the next one we're about to meet. Chisaki, who you did see at the end of season 3, so I can't technically kind of mention stuff about him.
Is she the girl that changes into other things?
No, the girl who changes in. Oh, you're talking.
Well, there was a girl who can morph herself.
No, you're talking about that's Toga.
Oh.
Remember at the end of that arc, they reveal that that's her ability, that if she ingests your blood.
Oh, yeah. If she takes the blood, she can take the form.
Yeah, she can take the form of the individual. No, I'm talking. Chisaki is it's like the last episode of the season. I don't want to tell you why, but I love.
Does he have that weird bird mask?
Yeah. That's Chisaki. Right. Chisaki is really fucking cool. I actually really dig his
coat.
I like his mentality, the whole what he wants to do. Granted, it's not for the right reasons, but I like the idea. Stain is kind of similar in the same way.
I was just gonna say I like Stain too. He's pretty cool.
Stain, I appreciate those villains who are like, they're still good in nature. They just have a terrible way about handling their good ideas. Like Stain was like, we have a bunch of fake ass heroes, which is a fair argument. When quirks are normalized in society, superpowers are like considered like these,
redundant.
Like heroes are now like spokespersons for brands and shit. Like I could understand his mindset.
We commercialized the idea of heroes. Yeah.
And I could completely understand that. It's just that you can't go around murdering people like this. Like he's one of those kind of villains. I love those.
I like his power too. It's fucked up.
I'm mad that it's weird. He's like a jump start to the villain side of the story, but he's defeated so quickly. I was like, I need you around more often.
A lot of the villains in the show sort of stay in the shadows so long. We don't get the chance to really like get most of them until they I want to say 3 seasons in. I want to say season 3 is when we really started seeing them do stuff. Most of the villains didn't really do much outside of like attack Universal Studios Japan.
Well, I'll just tell you this up front. Yeah, the villains it's kind of a weird with the villains because like Shigaraki, for example. I mean, he is technically quote unquote the main villain of the series. Like, but I will say I give the series a lot of props on doing essentially. I don't think many series do that where they develop the villain the same time they develop the main hero.
Yeah.
So like he's growing as a villain the same time Deku is growing as a hero.
Yes.
So as the series goes on, Deku and Shigaraki both become bigger threats in their own right. And shit, once again, I hate doing this, but like manga readers are like, yeah, Shigaraki's definitely become way more of a fucking threat in recent chapters. My God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if Polly or Kevin even mentioned if they have any favorite villains or no.
Yeah, did you guys?
Twice. And my other favorite is the compress guy.
Oh, the dude with the magician?
Yes. He's a cool design.
Oh yeah, they fought him when they stole Bakugo.
And no face.
Yeah. I like the way he looks. I'll give him credit for that. He has a I kind of like I don't know Twice. I kind of like Twice just because of his backstory.
Yeah,
he's a man who literally suffers from like multiple personality disorder. Except they're all the same. They're all him.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole thing about it actually brings up an interesting point of what if I had the ability to duplicate myself, and then I didn't realize which version of me is still the original me. That shit is horrifying when you think about it. It's like, you had, especially when you had to kill
the clone.
Well, because he had to kill every version of himself just to get back to like him, and so now he has to wear the mask. That's probably the reason why I think people like Toga, because Toga and Twice's relationship is pretty pure. I'm not as much as I think she's overrated. I do like their relationship where like she kind of cares for him, and it's an equal caring for each other. Like even though they're villains, they like
they're still sympathetic with each other.
They're still human. Like that's the whole point. They're still human. They don't we don't dehumanize them.
I like the lizard guy too.
Who?
Lizard guy or the
Spinner.
Yeah, Spinner. Because a lot of his ideology is based off of Stain. So it's like sometimes he's not even in it for like the whole league. Like I think he's loyal to League, but he's also still loyal to Stain, even though Stain's long gone. Like
because he dresses up like Stain, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't even realize that until recently. I was like, oh shit, that's what his design is based on.
Yeah, it's based off Stain.
Yeah.
KG, you didn't say your favorite villain, did you?
No, not yet.
Sorry.
I was thinking about it, but going outside of like the ones that you would consider common, I do like Kurogiri.
Oh, teleporter.
Yeah.
Ah.
I love his design and just the way he just looked like some kind of like butler or whatnot.
I'm surprised nobody picked what's his name, Dabby.
Isn't he like the main?
I don't know, man. He kind of it's that
the one where everybody kept saying it's Todoroki's brother.
He's kind of
it's just he's just a choice that honestly everybody would see, but it's like I want to choose some of the more obscure ones.
He's also obviously out of all the villains, he seems the most generic.
That was my biggest issue with him. He's too generic, and even in the manga, we don't know shit about him. Like he's around and he's doing things, but it's not like. He's not
game changing.
Yeah, he's not super interesting. It's kind of like he's just like chaotic for the fuck of it. He's just not like psychotic about it.
Right. So why was the rumor that he's Dabby? That Dabby is Todoroki's?
Because of his design. It looks like his face. His face was burned.
That's
why. He has like the hooks on like part of his skin. As if he's hooking his skin onto like his flesh. Because his skin technically isn't there anymore. Like it's a cool design, but his power is kind of basic and he's not like overly interesting.
I control blue fire.
And I do like the whole idea that like the half of the villains on Shigaraki's side are villains that literally were inspired by another villain. Like the only reason why they're siding with Shigaraki is because, well, at least in the beginning, is because of Stain. Stain was the inspiration for a lot of villains to come out of hiding, but like, it's a. I think the villains are handled really well. It's just that some of them I feel like are not given proper endings.
Or still just it's like too spread out to where you don't feel any movement despite there being some.
Yeah, so as one of the people obviously who is the least caught up in the series, because I'm watching it just anime, I will say this. Well, this is how I view it right now. I could change at any point. But I do like the approach that the villains are coming with their plan. It's a long-term ass plan, but it's a plan to me in my head that I feel is slowly but surely effective. I love the villains keep attacking the children, like they keep attacking the students purposely, so that every time they do, the parents got more and more worried about their children being at the school. And then their next goal was to do something big enough to get All Might's attention so that he can wear out his powers so that he can no longer be in action. So now we've gotten rid of the main hero and we're crippling the next generation from growing. Well, I think that's a great long-term plan.
I see what you're going with. It's more, for me, it's more, you also got, I think you're thinking, I get where you're going, but I feel like you're thinking too small. Think about it. When you're in a society that's full of heroes, and the main pillar is one guy who's been doing this for like the last, I want to say, I don't know, All Might's been probably doing this for the last 20 years, maybe?
Yeah, probably 20 years. I say 20.
20 years or so. When you're on top, what's the easiest thing to do? Either knock the guy on top off or build the small guy up. And the small guy are the villains. So it's easy for Shigaraki and Stain and all these various other villains to kind of build themselves up, but they can also fuck with the status quo real easily, because the moment like All Might messes up kinda sorta, you've now shaken people's confidence in the quote unquote symbol of peace. And that's kind of what their goal is. It's like it's the reformed society, because because think about it, if the superhero society was so perfect, why do you still have outcasts?
Yeah.
Right.
Because you shouldn't, technically.
Okay, so yeah, my idea, I thought since they kept attacking the students, the parents would be like, I don't think we trust our children to be in this school, which would stop up-and-coming heroes from happening. And then while we did that, we messed with All Might. And now that we've messed with All Might, we've messed with the Pillar, which is the symbol, the one hero that symbolizes pretty much all the other heroes. So now we've gotten rid of a past and a future, potentially.
And possibly the present too.
And that will in turn mess with the present. So yeah, that's what I thought. In my brain, that's what the villains were doing. But if you talk about it like that, I can see that also being the logical step that they would take. Long story short, these villains aren't just attacking randomly.
No, they're strategically planning and
like
where.
Even when they lose, I feel like they're doing something.
That's because
they're winning. They're while they have lost the battle, they're winning in terms of the long terms. Yeah.
They're shaking society every time they
we live in a society.
Right. Well, yeah, it's almost like if the police were considered like borderline gods in our own society, and then you had this group of vigilantes who just slowly but surely kept fucking with the police. Yeah. And then the question keeps popping up in people's minds: if we're doing so well, why are these vigilantes still showing up all the time? It's like it's the same concept. If All Might is such a strong pillar, why are there still villains popping up? And granted, it wasn't like All Might wasn't doing his job. It's just that like
he can't save everybody.
Yeah, and that's where all the holes in the cracks show up.
Yeah, he's only one dude.
But there are two other things I want to talk about before we get out of here. The first one I think Polly might be very interested in. I find Bakugo a very interesting character inherently. And I kind of just want to talk about him because of his evolution, just from the 3 seasons of the anime we've seen. Because he's
season 3, man.
it's weird. He's portrayed as like a stereotypical bully when you're first introduced to him.
Yeah, his introduction, I hate his introduction. God damn.
But I think that's the point.
Yeah, it was effective for what they were trying to.
I'm like, if Bakugo existed in any situation outside of this anime, he would be socially unacceptable.
And it's weird. It's so weird because just even over the course of the first season, it's because usually when you introduce a bully character, he has to have an inherent character flaw. And most of the time for the bullies, it's always like he's dumb or he's overconfident. Bakugo is not that dude because Bakugo, when his confidence is based off of like he can get shit. He's like the top of his class. So it's not like he's bad at what he does, and then his confidence comes from the fact that he is generally a good fighter and knows how to handle his quirk. But he just has a terrible fucking personality. It's interesting because his main flaw is that he has a terrible person and he doesn't know how to express himself at all. I don't know. I just find him fucking interesting just because of the way he's handled.
To me, it was for me. And sorry, Polly, if I'm taking your time for Bakugo, because I'm saying this now because I know you're gonna be the longest with Bakugo.
No, okay. I kind of wait. What was the question again?
No,
we're just talking about him.
Oh, okay.
Just talking
to
about
me, if it weren't for Kirishima, I would not like Bakugo. Like Kirishima helped me like Bakugo because Kirishima was like that level of humanity for Bakugo.
So you feel like without Kirishima, Bakugo, you wouldn't have.
Absolutely, Kirishima was like the. I don't know what he was like the string that helps Bakugo come back down to earth for a second. Cause I don't know. I just didn't like that whole, I'm mad at everything. And just because Deku's getting a little bit better at his stuff, I'm going to get even more mad. I wasn't digging that. But then when Kirishima was his friend and Bakugo actually was showing human like personality and being a friend towards him, even if it was subtle, it was him being a friend. I like that because it shows that Bakugo's still a person.
I think it was season 3 that solidified that when they went to rescue.
When they went to save him.
The scene.
Yeah, hold hands.
Well, it's not even that. I think another good scene in that same season is when they all move into the dorms. The scene still is weird no matter if I watch it or read it, but the scene in which Bakugo notices Kirishima kind of like bummed out, so he takes Kaminari in the back of the bushes. You see electric sparks come out, and then he comes back and gives Kirishima the money for the goggles he broke. It's a sweet scene, but I don't understand the Kaminari stuff. Like, is he?
He wanted to make everyone was pretty much bummed out, including Kirishima, but to kind of distract from that, everyone laughs when Kaminari goes into
they laugh at
short
his
circus.
they laugh at his expense.
Misfortune.
So
while everybody was laughing at him, Bakugo took the opportunity to pull Kirishima aside and yeah.
Oh, so it's kind of a way of lifting people's spirits on.
But also doing what he wants to do.
Okay, because like
Kaminari's becoming Bakugo's friend too, right?
Yeah, it's the trio. They're the trio.
They call them the Baku Squad, and Sarah.
Yeah. I love that they're doing that.
Pretty much after the scene in season 3 when they're hanging out together, Kaminari primarily like hangs around Bakugo and Kirishima now.
Yeah, they're a team now. I also want to praise this show for one thing. I'm glad they didn't do the Sasuke thing. I know it sounds weird, but the Sasuke thing is when they take a character that was in the good guy cast and a league of like a bunch of villains take him and he suddenly becomes evil. And I don't want to be saying that. I'm glad they didn't do that. I was so angry. I was like, oh, they're gonna make Bakugo a fucking villain. We're gonna do the whole Naruto bullshit. But no,
they were gonna start playing the first opening like, you are my friend.
You guys are fucking terrible. Yeah. That shit is. I like how that song has become traumatizing now.
But yeah, they did. I'm glad they didn't do that. I'm glad they saved Bakugo, and I love that. I think unfortunately Naruto was like the lesson that like. That cannot be a major plot point for any other shonen because I think Naruto's the only one that can actually get away with that.
Well, because they did it once and we learned that we never want to see that shit again.
Yeah. I'm so glad they did that. I'm glad Bakugo stood his ground.
The reason why I appreciate him more so because of how non-traditional he is. Like especially during their fight at the end of season 3, where it's literally like he starts expressing his feelings during the fight, like how the way like for example, there's a scene in the beginning of the first season where they always show Bakugo as a kid falling off into the river, and Deku, even though he has no quirk, coming down and like pick him back up, right?
Mhm.
It wasn't until season 3 where we realized the reason why that scene always frustrates him, that memory frustrates Bakugo, is because he views it as Deku looking down on him. Because like when in the anime, it was kind of like, why are you mad that he cares? Or why are you mad that he always follows you? I think Bakugo looks at Deku more so as like, oh, you're just being egotistical. You think you're better than me. Which I think fucks with his ego a lot.
You think you're better than me? I never said that.
Yeah, it's literally what it is. You think you're better than me. And so every time Deku got stronger, it fucked with him. Because he was like... And then, of course, the obvious, he felt really guilt-ridden over the fact that All Might lost the rest of his powers during the fight. Go ahead.
I love that scene because it really, you're right, it just shows his humanity. And like even like the voice actors, both of them did so well in the conveying that that angst and guilt that he felt. Like literally crying over it.
Yeah, it's weird. He's a character people don't really think of as hiding his true feelings. But Bakugo does that shit all the fucking time.
He cries all.
Well, I mean, cause think about even his interactions with Kirishima. Kirishima, like, when the way they interact, he acts like he doesn't give a damn half the time. Like, that's the way he portrays it. But Kirishima is just the kind of guy who can see through his bullshit. So it's like,
Yeah.
because
I like when we make it to his house and we see his family and we learn that that's not coming from pure nowhere either. His mom is fucking like that.
Bruh,
his mom's worse.
We can't
his
talk.
mom's worse.
I can't talk about his mom, man. I saw his mom and I was like, yo.
She's like, Deku, get over here, you. She's like, Bakugo, get over here, you piece of shit.
It's funny.
Now say thank you, you piece of shit.
His dad is super timid, and his mom just doesn't take no shit off of him.
Yeah, I sometimes wonder who's the real one in the.
Yeah, she's the man. Yeah, she's the pants. She's got the pants.
But like, when we saw her design, I'm like,
I gotta go. I have to go. Twitter needs me.
Social media, where you at?
It's Bakugo with tits, guys. Come on.
Yeah, my mind says something, but my
hey, chill out.
Yeah, my stomach says I gotta go.
Pass the lotion.
No. I want to hear nothing about lotion.
So, what's the other topic we want to go
The
ahead
last thing is just things we're looking excited for in terms of season 4.
Animation, because season 3 was pretty weak on that part.
Really?
Really? I thought
compared to season 2, though, I mean, it was a downfall.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Okay, the reason why I say this,
I think it just keeps getting better, honestly.
No, I'm not saying like the storyline is bad. I'm just saying like I think the animation was a little dwindled down in the 3rd season compared to season 2, because I feel season 2 had a lot more going for it, where season 3 was more. It had that one big arc, but the second arc moving after that kind of was a little on the tamer side. So
you know why?
They didn't need to go all out for the animation on that part. You know.
Yeah, I think the problem is that season 3 doesn't have a lot of big moments. There's only like a few huge moments in season 3, which is
and like it is a big moment, mind you. But I'm just saying when you finally get out of that big moment and then move forward, it's slow.
They do double down on those big moments, which I think are ironically both Bakugo related moments. Which is the fight with Deku is one of them, and then the other one is him.
Oh, that one was. I love the animation of that one.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying.
Deku's footwork in that fight. What the fuck?
Good job,
that fucking spin kick.
Oh, I'm saying those are the 2 best animation moments. But like when you think about it in context, like why are those the 2 best looking animation moments when you had like All Might
last season where it was like Deku charging towards Todoroki and whatnot?
I could understand that argument. I don't know if I agree entirely with it, but I can understand where you're coming from.
The only reason why I just say it is just because, and also it's not really the anime's fault. It's just that there's just not much in it after you move out of the big arc. And even then, it was a lot more of a conversation kind of arc rather than an actual action arc if you really start breaking it down. You know what I mean?
And which is crazy to me because season 4 is fights all damn day.
And that's what I'm saying. I hope
Yeah.
season 4 picks back up on the fights because I think season 3 was more of like setting things up to get to that moment, which
Okay.
is really good and something needed to actually make the fights more satisfying. I'm just saying that, season 3, I just feel out of all 3 seasons, I want to say is the weakest out of the 3.
I want to point out because at first they made the announcement of when the next season was coming out. It was like way in October, and I'm like, this is a huge gap. Like this is a very obnoxious gap. But then I thought, and I was upset about it at first. But then I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute. If it's taking this long, then that means they're putting in a lot of work to make sure that this looks good.
Dude, you don't understand, bro. The amount of fights that are in season 4 is insane.
And that's probably why they took that so long. And that's one thing I respect about this, is that if they're taking this much time to do it, that means they're putting in a lot of care. That shows how much care you're putting into an anime
also funny
when you go to do that.
They announced season 4 literally like right as season 3 ended. We were kind of like,
yeah, just mere minutes.
Yeah,
and then we also got the announcement for the movie around that time too, right?
Yeah.
I like the movie.
I still haven't watched the movie.
Really? I have the movie on DVD. I
don't know, man. I kind of got burnt out. There are only a few anime series movies I actually I care to watch.
It's a good movie. Technically, it happens after season 2. The movie takes place after season 2.
I've only seen certain sequences. I just wasn't super like engaged to go see it. I know people. It fits.
Well. It fits the tone of My Hero Academia. There's no part of it that feels like it's just there to be there, and the characters are very well diverse. And
with that being said, please bring them to the main storyline. God damn it, man! I just would love to see.
Oh yeah, you make the movie canon. I think they kind of did. They did an episode that kind of relates to the movie.
Yeah, well, they do that, but they do that for other series too. Like One Piece does that for their movies.
Yeah.
I would say, but get back on the season 4 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very conflicted because I would say my most favorite thing is probably just seeing my boy Chisaki on screen, but I also know what that entails, and that's what I'm concerned about. I don't know if I want to see some of these sequences animated.
Yeah.
He gets.
Let me ask a question here for the manga readers. Is there anything the animes had to do to fill up spots that the manga obviously couldn't? Like stuff that was there, but was outside of the Sue episode.
You mean like in canon filler?
Yeah, like stuff that kind of expanded upon what actually happened in the manga. Because like one of the reasons I don't read manga a lot is like, well, one, I like the to see the animated things happen, but two, obviously the manga is taking place in a book scenario where you can just turn the page and the next thing happens, whereas the anime has to do transitions.
I'm trying to think. Most of My Hero is pretty canon. They're like if they have
it's
filler,
very faithful.
Yeah.
If they have filler, it's like a filler episode. It's not like in canon filler. It's usually
okay. So even the episode where they all checked out each other's rooms, that shit was filler, right?
No, that's canon.
Oh shit! Okay, all right.
That whole thing is canon
I
because
think most of it actually is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's pretty faithful.
That whole thing was canon. There was nothing. Actually, I think there were things cut more than taken. I'm trying to think. My Hero is pretty faithful to its manga, except for like, dude, you know what I hope they don't do now? I'm reminded of it. I hope they don't do what they did at the beginning of season 3. You remember that first episode of season 3?
Which one?
It was the recap episode.
Well, yeah, every anime does that.
I don't fucking need it, dude. You don't do that when you've been waiting for a fucking new season for this long, yo.
Yeah, if you get like, I don't like recaps either. It's just like go watch the other episodes then if you want to know what happened.
Tyrone, if it's the first episode of the new season, that's my problem. It was the first episode of season 3 with like some filler stuff with like the whole swimming with Kaminari and Minonetta being perverts and shit. But like but it was primarily a recap episode. I'm just like, no, this season just started. Let me get to my fucking the training camp arc. That was my whole thing.
Yeah,
that's my biggest concern. I don't need a recap. They're probably gonna do it, and that's gonna piss me off because you can't get me excited for a new season. And the first episode is guess what happened? Guess what happened last season, guys? I don't know. I just that's my.
I don't think so because I actually went to a panel. I went at New York Comic Con, and I keep talking about it, where they actually showed a few clips from the first few episodes of season 4.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
that's
I don't
good.
think it's going to be a clip show. Maybe they'll just like do a little short recap at the beginning.
Yeah, maybe like the first 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
But you know what? The one thing we should all be excited for, though,
What?
new opening and endings.
Oh,
I heard the new
yes.
opening
course.
song.
Ah, that's fuck. That's the one thing we didn't talk about. It's how good the fucking opening and endings.
Wait,
are.
so we obviously have. What's your favorite openings? We'll end with that.
Oh yes.
The day, you know.
No, it's
the
not. For me, it's not the first one.
Oh, really? I think for anything, I think to start a series
the
off,
day is
that was
really
the best
good.
one.
Yeah, the day is really good.
I think it's season 2 opening.
Peace sign.
Yeah,
Mm.
peace
My
sign.
favorite one. My favorite one is Ideals.
Yeah, peace sign is my favorite. Actually,
I like Ideals.
I think I posted a techno remix of it. I found in the chat like a few days ago. Fucking love that. That's my favorite opening.
Yeah, I like them all, but Ideals is my favorite.
Sing ideals real quick.
I keep my ideals.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that
I
one.
hate that opening.
Really? I love it opening.
Okay,
not
let me
great.
clarify. I hate the full version of that song.
Oh no, I just like the TV size. I don't like the whole.
Wait, wow.
part.
What's the dip? I mean, like, does it
Oh
sound...
no, there's some songs that.
No, I'm talking about KG. Like, what?
Okay,
Oh.
Overworld has this tendency to create beautiful TV-sized songs, but the moment that they incorporate it into like a full version, they completely butcher a lot of the things that
Yeah.
made the opening really
It
great.
loses a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
Really?
It went from
Yeah.
like this like exciting kind of like build up kind of song, and then just suddenly out of nowhere it turned into like some kind of party song in the full version.
Sorrel, you should know this. Like when you're watching an anime, there's always going to be that one song you like as its TV size, but if you listen to the full version, it's like, oh no.
To be fair, I haven't run into that problem in a while. So
I have. I know several songs like that.
And it hurts, man, because you love it and you want it to be better, but it doesn't get better.
I might go back and listen to the full version there because I don't remember this. I mean, to me, it's not one of my favorites. It's probably one of my least favorites, but that's just because in general, I just don't care for the song in general. It's not because of the full version. But I'm curious. I would listen to the full version just to see.
I feel bad for Ida. We didn't mention him at all.
I know.
You know why we didn't mention him?
He's
I
a
don't know.
good boy.
Ironically, no, it's weird because Class 1A has their own little cliques with certain characters. Deku, Uraraka, and Ida is kind of the weirder clique for me.
They're the Team 7 of 1B.
Yeah, but it's not like I don't know. I like Ida enough, but it's not anything. I don't know. It's just not It's not as interesting of a dynamic.
Actually, I think they're more of that. They seem more like the Ash, Misty, and Brock of fucking.
Actually,
Yeah.
I think that's a
Of the
fair
class.
comparison.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah. They seem like the Ash, Misty, and Brock of the class.
You know what I should have asked? What is the favorite? What quirk would you have if you could pick one?
Ooh.
That depends. How's my body going to mutate with this?
Yeah, well, there's got to be a downside. There has to be a downside.
Well, you
That's
have
what I love about the system of this show
Well,
is that no quirker's free.
Well, listen, you got to pick the power, and then I can decide the downside.
Oh, okay, all right.
I
So-
should,
Going first.
Who's going first? Yeah.
whoever.
Oh, can I go first then?
Yeah, see,
Go ahead,
Kevin,
KG.
Kevin wants to go first.
I would love to see a transformation kind of quirk, as in you can transform into various creatures or whatnot.
Okay, the problem is that you have to that means your default form has animal elements to it in general, though.
Okay.
Like,
Okay, but
I would-
is it gonna be like a amalgamation of like
yeah,
all
you're
animals?
gonna be like a fucking griffin, essentially. Like,
Oh, that sounds pretty badass.
Your superhero name will be Chimera.
yeah, that's too basic, isn't?
Oh.
Oh, I guess. Oh, I was gonna say there is a character who does that already.
What, that does the transformation stuff?
Yeah, you know what? You should know the character.
Oh, okay.
yeah, I was about to say the character.
I was like, wait, hold
you,
on.
You know the character. It's just the name wasn't taken, but a character.
Yeah. The name just sort of flew by my head at that
I
point.
do like
think.
his little drawback of how he works. So I get that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, but ignore his whole element. I guess he doesn't.
Either that or your drawback is that you have to have seen the animal recently to turn into.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Oh, I want it to be the ability of like Animorphs, so you have to like just touch them.
Oh God.
Oh.
Have you gone back and looked at some of the fucking CG for that show? Oh my God.
Oh yeah. But no,
Did
it's
not
not the
age
CG.
well.
It's not the CG. It's the fucking crunch effect where like.
Ah! Yeah,
Ah.
because they're trying to make it sound like your bones are snapping, and it doesn't work.
Exactly, and then it's so bizarre. But for some reason, I have a liking to it just because
So,
of how
Paulie,
interesting
do
it
you
is.
want to go next, or am I going?
See, I was confused. I thought you meant if you could have a quirk that like one of the characters already had, like if you could be them.
I mean, you can pick.
Ah.
I mean, if you want to.
I mean,
if you
Sue
whichever.
is kind of a given here.
Really?
Ah, so
I didn't
Yeah,
know.
but-
I didn't know if that would be your default. So you would take like
But-
the froggish looking appearance, because that's.
Oh yeah, the appearance wise, yes.
So your weakness
I
would be
really
obvious,
like
though. It'd just be
Hararka's.
cold.
No,
What?
no. Well, yeah, you essentially would
Oh,
have
that's true.
the same drawbacks as a frog, and you would look the way Suyu does.
Yeah.
So instead of doing a frog, do Toad.
Oh, but
That's
they would
true.
still have the same drawbacks. A toad is cold-blooded too.
Yeah, like there's no inherent difference.
I don't know
There is
what I would
slight
want.
differences between a Toad and.
But yeah, like you can either that, or you could just do like you can make one up, and I can
I
give a
don't
drawback to
know.
it.
Maybe something having to do with like memories or like.
Really?
Oh, we're going Kingdom Hearts with this one. Chain of Memories going.
Oh God, no!
I don't
Nominate.
know, like creating scenarios, like. I don't know how to describe
that
it.
sounds so close to a character in One Piece. I was that was in some of the recent arcs. Oh my
Really?
God! Yeah, she has the ability to reach inside your head and pull out like this photo reel of your memories.
Yes, that's what I would want.
And then she can cut them and like snip them together and replace them if she doesn't want like for you to remember certain things.
Yeah.
I guess.
But what's the drawback to that thing?
I guess the drawback is that if you every time you there has to be a drawback to it. What the fuck?
Every time you do it, you also lose a bit of memory yourself.
Yeah, but that's
What the
dark.
fuck?
That's like Alzheimer's. I don't want to fucking do that. That's like the character gets Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's.
Hold on, you cut the memory, but then you also cut the memory of you cutting that person's memory.
Damn.
Yeah, that would be the drawback. You forget.
My Alzheimer's allowed me to forget that I had Alzheimer's. I remember everything.
No. You would essentially forget what you changed, but
Wow.
you would remember the fact that you did change something.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it takes place like the day after, though, just to make things
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, you have like 24 hours so if you need to make any changes, if you don't do it within 20, and it's like literally on the dot, like once it hits like midnight, boom, you forgot it. Like it's that, but you just have the faint memory that you did change something. So I think that works as a drawback. Tyrone.
Oh man, I really don't know. I'm trying to go on the original side here too. I guess if I had to pick a quirk, I could it would be I guess if I had to pick one, I'd want the ability to control light. I know it sounds weird at first, but just be able to like, let's say if something causes a lot of light to happen, I can transfer that light from one spot to the next. Mostly just to blind people.
So your power is just inconvenient.
Yeah, pretty much blinding
All
others.
of the lights.
I guess the problem is, I guess the trade-off there is that your skin is refractive.
Yeah.
That would be the trade-off. Like essentially your skin cells are like tiny little mirrors and shit. So like if you stand at the wrong angle, you could potentially kill somebody with like a sunbeam or something.
Yeah.
Solar flare.
Yeah,
Soda flare.
it's literally that.
Tired.
The ability I liked the most was Miro's from My Hero. Miro's is
Where he can phase through stuff like
but
Shadow
I don't
Cat.
want to do that because it's too.
His downside is terrible. The only reason he's doing anything is because he trained himself.
But that's the cool thing about Miro. Miro's cool because of that. I gotta stop.
But that also makes you kind of question what he had to go through to get to that phase.
Right.
Yeah,
He
think
had to
about
go
it.
through hell and a half.
If you're like 5 years old and you're phasing through the floor, that shit is terrible.
Scary. Yeah, because he can't move during it.
You know what mine's gonna be, and for the One Piece fans, you'll know some of this reference. The ability to like detach my body parts and teleport.
Chop, chop, my bone.
Yeah. Well, no, it's the ability to take off my body parts and then teleport my body to wherever they're at. So like, let's say I leave my foot in the car, right?
Uh-huh.
And then someone drives my car to a certain place. I can like snap my fingers and teleport to that place.
The issue there
that's
kind of
cool.
holds its own though, is that whatever damage is done to the separate body part, obviously you'll feel it.
Yeah, like I still
Yeah.
maintain.
So that essentially makes you a multiple target.
Yeah, it's like it's a trade off. I can use it to. It's essentially my way of teleportation, but I run the risk of my body part being like heavily damaged.
Also, how would you lose blood?
No, I would still bleed. It would still be.
Well, yeah, his body parts still act the way that they do
Yeah,
separate.
So you have two bad things then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
Yeah.
that was gonna be an issue regardless.
High risk, high reward. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Oh,
Oh, risky player, I see.
well, I just realized that. No, I just realized that. What's his name is my other favorite. Like, well, do we call them pro heroes? Mirio,
they're top. They're
Tamaki, and what's her name?
Nigiri.
Yeah. No, because I have.
I would call
have
them, yeah, like what Terrell said, they'd be top heroes, not pro heroes.
Top-
The top of the class, I guess.
Yeah.
what's his
I
name?
call them the
Sun Eater.
seniors.
He's also my favorite.
Oh, Sun Eater.
He's one of my favorite.
I love him too, just because his personality. I love that self-deprecation.
Yeah,
Fucking,
that's why he's very relatable.
yeah, that's part of the reason why I like him. I can't
Sorry, I
wait.
didn't mean to interrupt that other thing.
No,
but yeah.
it's fine, dude. Honestly, I could sit here and geek out about powers for way longer than we should because.
Well, because I like his quirk too, like the whole darn it.
Well, no, that's why I made the joke that KG's quirk he came up with is too close. It's really close to Sun Eater.
I was gonna say I wanted my power to just be magnetism, but I think someone already does it. So
I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
but,
but you need
what
to be
the
more.
villains, right?
So-
Magna?
magnetism.
Yeah,
Like-
but
like
I think
control
one of the villains.
Oh yeah, it's the dude with the big lips.
Yeah.
He can attract and repel. Yours could be a variation of it. Like maybe
Yeah.
you can use it to fly. Like you could repel the ground and that allows
Yeah,
you to fly.
but the downside, I guess, is that like I can only do it for a certain amount of time before. Yeah, just
I would say the downside is that it doubles the force of the object.
yeah,
Like,
pretty much.
let's say you throw a ball in the air, but you throw it lightly. If you try to bring the ball back to you with your ability, it comes back at twice the speed.
Yeah.
So like that's if you were like throwing something really fucking hard,
Mhm.
you would get it back twice the speed. So if you didn't have like the physical ability to catch or grab the object that you just threw
Or
back,
dodge.
yeah, if you don't have the ability, you would just take the fucking damage.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really love about My Hero is that everybody has powers, but there's always a double-edged sword behind it. No one can just freely use it, and if they can, it's only because they've mastered it to a point where you don't see it's damaging them on the surface. It is
So basically pro heroes.
I love. There's
Yeah.
one scene I actually love where it's it's the beginning of the training camp arc when they all have to pass that they put like what's their names, the wild pussycats or something.
yeah.
They put them through class 1A through this test.
Endurance training.
Yeah, they're testing their endurance, and then there's the scene where like it shows them doing all the crazy stuff, like really training hard, and then they all come back like Bakugo's like hand is hurting, like they're all just like so exhausted, like even like the types that like always like nothing's ever wrong, like they're always very stoic and like calm
Yeah.
and collected, like Jiro, like you can see all of them just like absolutely exhausted.
Oh,
It's
what's
honestly
the-
kind of hilarious.
What's the dude who has like the multiple body parts he can grow?
Oh,
What the
Oh, the guy with the bat wings or whatever.
You know,
That's not-
I would call him bat wings, but I see what he has. Like it's things like Tentacle is the name of his superhero.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
So Shoji?
Yeah.
yeah.
Shoji is. I also like the defect with his, like where it's like, oh, he can only create so much of his body parts, multiples at a certain time,
Mhm.
and if they do get hurt, that like they do cause damage to him.
Yeah. I know what Todoroki's is kind of unfair. His downside is that one of the elements will take over. So you just use the other fucking element.
I don't really think that's even his downside. His downside is that he has. Well, right now his downside is that he doesn't have a lot of control over his fire half because he didn't use it for so long.
He didn't use it a lot. But it's like Todoroki, if he uses ice too much, though, his body starts to freeze over. But then he can just use the fire half to mitigate that problem.
But it creates an interesting situation though, Tyrone, because that means there has to be a reprieve from him using consistent ice attacks. So let's say the villain he's fighting does not take, like when he I can't talk about that, spoiler, fuck. There's a fight.
Everything's a spoiler here.
Okay, if he's just dealing with a villain that can only like really be hurt by ice, but Todoroki's limited in how much ice he can use.
Yeah, actually, Bakugo's reference of like an RPG where it's like a magic meter and shit.
Yeah. That actually makes a lot.
He can only do it for a certain amount of time without having to like rest or recover and shit.
Yeah.
So eventually,
and then we didn't talk about the Shadow Dude.
Shadow Dude.
The guy with the bird, the crow guy.
No,
I talked about him.
KG, you did.
KG mentioned that's one of his favorites.
Yeah, and Tokiyami takes over, like the shadow guy takes over, and if it gets too dark.
They all have different drawbacks. Like Momo, it's like you gotta have the amount. Oh, is it body?
That's
fat?
her body fat.
Yeah, she has to have her body fat in order to work it. Like Uraraka throws up if she levitates for too long.
Yeah, she throws up glitter.
And then fucking his shit will stall out like a fucking car.
That's why that whole scene was just so hilarious, because it showed all of them like
struggling.
Yeah.
Well, even the fact that Bakugo's is weird, because Bakugo's is the whole I dipped my hand in, was it water he was dipping his hand in?
Yeah, he like.
Because
it was water. It was hot water.
One of the powers
it was hot water.
One of the powers I would want, it's kind of relating to Hunter x Hunter, but there's a lizard dude, Chimera and Hunter x Hunter, who has the ability to be invisible, but it's as long as he can hold his breath.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I would like that. That seems like a pretty cool power.
I wonder if there's a way to...
Oh, yeah, sorry, I remember.
Yeah. That's one of the things I love about My Hero and Hunter x Hunter is like no character, just because there's no such thing as, this character is inherently stronger than the other character. It's all based on how they use their quirk, what weaknesses are, how other characters can mitigate the weakness, what strategies they have. Like there's a lot more to take into account than just power gauging.
I know we've been talking for a while. I want to end it with this though.
Yeah.
For the fuck of it, do you guys want to do quick quirks for Nessa, Richie, and TSA?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I got Nessa's.
Oh boy.
Oh shit! I knew you were gonna have Nessa's first. Go ahead.
Why y'all claiming people?
Honk. There you go.
I knew that was.
See, Nessa's. I don't want Nessa's to be like what people are thinking, which is like a duck. It needs to be more.
Nessa
You
should
just
have
duck.
some kind of like chemical thing because of the pharmaceutical.
Yeah.
Something about like
maybe
like
her body.
Maybe like a healing quirk, kind of like the heal.
Yeah.
Not exactly
Recovery
like
girl?
what's her name? Yeah, but like.
What about?
No. Instead of
what
recovering, what if she deals? Like negative effects.
What do you mean? Oh, you mean like
the opposite of a recovery girl, basically.
An illness? She's like an ailment woman.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're implying if she's like a villain. You know what you should do?
No, that could actually be pretty cool.
No. Her body can produce different chemicals on like the periodic table and shit. But the drawback is though, she can't mix certain chemicals because just like on the periodic table, if you mix certain chemicals, it'll have negative effects.
Yeah, it'll have negative
blow
chemical.
up.
Yeah. So basically, she had to force herself to learn all the chemical equations.
Yeah, but she has to alternate. Like she has to wait 5 minutes to switch to like a different chemical.
Yeah.
She can't like if she makes like sodium, she can't then right afterwards just do like chloride. She has to wait 5 minutes to be able to make her body produce chloride. So she can only do it
because her body needs to reset, basically.
Yeah, because if she and I guess her training would be to be able to switch quicker than within the 5 minute limit. Like maybe she can trim it down to 4 or 3 minutes and shit.
Yeah, that's actually shit. I want that power. That sounds cool.
But it's dangerous though.
Yeah. And you have to learn science like a motherfucker. You can't just like.
Oh yeah, that would fit you actually.
You gotta know what sodium benzenite is, and oh man.
Fuck, I want fan art now.
Let's commission.
What's
Sergi?
Sergi.
Yeah, I already
so
put too much money down. I don't think I can.
Wait.
Let's do Richie's.
Richie's next.
Yeah, Richie's next.
Oh,
What's
Richie's-
Richie's power?
Richie, the only what would be? I guess we need to figure out a theme for it, right?
Well, since he plays football,
Yeah,
maybe something
sports related.
like
Maybe
muscle
not sports
related.
related, but like in regards to athleticism.
Oh, what if
his
his powers are like bone related?
Oh.
to enhance certain bone features depending on the situation, so he could like improve his speed or his strength or
Yeah.
his.
But the downside is that he has to transfer. It's a bone transfer. So
Yeah.
he has to,
Yeah,
he has to
part-
give up. He has to give up his arm bones in order to increase his leg
Tyrone,
bones.
it's marrow transfer.
Marrow transfer.
The law of equivalent exchange.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, oh, if I wanna punch harder, I have to give up power from my other
Yeah,
body parts or something. Yeah.
and so the training would be that he has to maintain. So for him, he would have to like increase his calcium intake.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So the more,
Get milk.
yeah,
Because if
literally.
he does it, because if he does it too much, his bones start to become brittle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so who else we got?
TSS is gonna be the hardest one.
Oh, TSS.
The power to create references on pop culture references on the spot.
He's known for like electrical stuff,
He's usually a computer guy. He'd be a support. TSS would be a support.
Yeah.
similar
Yeah,
to.
but he still has to have a quirk like May. May still has a quirk though. So his
Oh
quirk-
right, she has a
Zoom.
Zoom, right?
Yeah, it would have to be a quirk that helps in that regard. Fuck, we should have made more of us support characters instead of having us all be like, "Oh, TSS is the only support character we have."
No, wouldn't you consider Nessus as a support really? Because like, how is that exactly useful?
Yeah, she
in the
can't really
battle?
use it in a battle.
Okay,
yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, so we got 2 supports then.
So
For
TSS
TSS though, I honestly think it would be more of, given that it's gonna be like, it would be kind of cool if you could control like
what technology?
mechanical items on the fly. Like if he touches it and he actually has the ability to control that particular item. Say like he controls a bulldozer, he can control that thing.
But is the
from-
rule that he has to touch it?
Yes, because he needs to like connect.
He has to have
something.
constant hand contact with it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So if his hand ever comes off of it, he can't use it anymore.
Would
or just a part of his body needs to cling on to it.
well, then here's my question: would he be kind of like Jiro in the sense that maybe he has like cords of various different types of cords coming out, like USB?
Oh yeah.
Like
I was thinking
USB.
more like magnetism, where his body would be the thing that would, like some kind of like wireless sort of feature.
Oh, maybe he looks normal, but the moment he interacts with an object, his hand can kind of meld with the object in whatever way he needs it to. So, like, if he's touching a computer, his hand would turn into, like, a bunch of USB cables or some shit. And that's how he could control the computer.
Yeah.
And, like, his eyes would change color from, like, white to green and shit because he's processing data. Wow, I got way too involved.
No, that's pretty cool.
Fucking...
And then the blue screen of death happens.
I was thinking,
God.
in my mind, I was thinking.
that's the question. Can he get viruses?
Yeah, he'll get
Yeah,
Trojan
that's a
horses.
whole arc. That's the TSS virus arc.
Porn.exe.
Dude, there's so
The
much...
.exe arc.
Oh, shit! That's good. Oh, shit! That's good. I like
I
that.
love this.
That's
Let's
good.
make a cartoon.
Let's
of this.
make I was saying let's make the Fan Hero Academia.
Fuck. Is that everyone we needed to do? I'm trying to
I think so.
Who else
Yeah.
is in the?
I mean, there's John and DJ, but
I don't have enough info on DJ to do one, so I don't know.
and Sergi obviously. Well, he's an artist, so his power would be similar.
He's
to,
basically manga.
yeah.
No.
It's kind of like what's Sai from Naruto.
Oh,
yeah,
he can draw shit.
but-
and
yeah,
it'll
but
come
Yeah,
no,
and
no.
it comes to life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Tyrone, make it more like a part of him. Like his hands are paintbrushes and shit. Like he could like swipe his hand across the page and create like life with it, I guess.
So what's the downside? Is that once he runs out of paint, he's kind of done and he needs to refuel.
Yeah, but how do you? I guess how does he get?
It's like sweat pores at that point.
Yeah, but see, that's too close to Bakugo's. I don't want to do
He
that.
becomes just a standard human.
Yeah, I don't want to do the sweat pores. Maybe.
Oh, okay. It can be based off like the moisture in your body.
So what if he gets dehydrated? He's
Yeah, kind of like that. He can't do.
Oh,
paint.
instead of
But
you know like how
it's
your
like
body's
watercolors.
you know like how your body's like 70% water, I think it is. Like
Yeah.
instead of that, it's just 70%
It's
ink.
paint. Yeah.
Yeah, ink.
It's paint.
There you go.
Yeah, he's got to refuel the ink. He's got to get it
I
wet
love
again.
this.
I want to
Yeah.
make it weirder though. Like maybe he literally has to maybe he has to consume ink or like paint.
Smeargle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he actually has to drink paint to regain paint
Oh.
or paint
Okay.
or something like.
You
paint
basically turned him into an inkling.
No, because he's not like he's not like a
Yeah.
fuck. Oh God, I remember KG was on that kick for a while.
What,
But,
the Woomies?
Yeah, the
This-
Woomies.
Yeah.
The Woomies life was ridiculous.
Yeah, the Woomie lives was a good time, man.
Okay, what
Then
about
Goose invaded my life.
Oh God, John.
John. Ooh.
I think he's gonna be some kind of like animal-esque kind of hero.
What is he? Does anyone? I don't know what his major is in college.
Yeah, I don't know either. I never asked.
Damn it, we don't have enough information.
I know, because usually I go by what they do. Either for
Good
a
morning.
living or-
John has the ability to turn night into morning. I'm just kidding.
On the fly.
On the fly.
Good
No,
morning
no,
effect.
no. That you know what would be cool is if it's kind of like Tokiyami's where he only has certain abilities during the day and other abilities during the night.
Oh.
Like
Do we
I
have
guess
a
the
do we have a
downside is
person?
that
Do
you
we have a person?
What?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say the downside to that is just that you cannot use moves that are from the opposite time sign.
Yeah.
Should I ask him? Yeah.
Do
Don't
we have a
ask-
Excuse
person?
me, John.
Yeah,
Do we
John.
have a person whose quirk is to control the weather? Do we have that yet?
No.
No.
Okay. I mean, I think that might be a thing.
Yeah, but you gotta. What's the drawback to controlling the fucking weather?
I don't know.
You can't just be like. Actually, there's a JoJo character who can do that, but
Oh, sweet.
But-
Zaru?
no, I was thinking of Weather Report, which is
Yeah,
Ah.
no, just
But no, but the problem I always want to maintain a drawback.
Yeah, that has to be a drawback.
I actually like the good morning, good night concept.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Where like in the morning and like daytime he has certain abilities and at night he has others.
Nice.
I think
But he can't use them in.
maybe during the day he can force people unconscious. But the drawback is that every time he does that, he loses the ability to go to sleep for an hour.
Yeah. So he's developing insomnia. He's losing
Yeah.
sleep every time he causes someone else to sleep.
Yeah, and at night, the trade-off is that the longer he's awake, the weaker his night abilities are. So like, I gotta think of how his night abilities would work. I guess his night abilities would be something more like nightmares, kind of like a Darkrai in that way,
Yeah.
where his ability keeps you up, but that ability is weakened if he's been up for too long. So like, he has to sleep 12 hours during. No, he's a sleep like at least 4 hours during the day and 4 hours at night in order to maintain the best of his ability. So if he stays up all day, his nightmares are nowhere near as potent as they would be. Like maybe at worst, his nightmares could cause like cardiac arrest.
Mm.
But on like otherwise, it's just a mild inconvenience. I may have made that way more complicated than I needed to. This is what happens when my brain starts running 20 miles per hour. I actually like this idea. I almost want to just do this as like a side video later on. But fuck it.
Yeah. Seems fun.
This would be.
Sorry. But I guess we'll end it there because we've been talking for almost like 2 hours. It's like an hour and a half
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
This has been fun.
Yeah, but that is us. That's kind of giving you a basis of our My Hero knowledge and enjoyment. And if you want to send us various fan arts for us to be happy about, you know what our tastes lean towards on certain characters. But we're all really what it boils down to is we're just excited for fucking more My Hero. Whether it's the manga you're reading that comes out every week or it's the anime that's about to premiere in a few fucking days, the My Hero love is always there.
3 days.
If
Yep.
3 days.
Don't say
Yep.
3 days because that means I have to upload this like.
This
So,
potato
you
salad.
literally have no choice but to upload this.
You gotta
within the
upload it
next
right
few days.
now. Get to work.
Hey, listen, fuck.
Yeah,
you
why
guys.
isn't this live streamed?
We could actually.
That would have been a good idea.
It's Thanks guys for telling me like way after the
No one has
fact.
to tell you everything.
Right.
You guys are terrible.
I know.
But while being terrible, I do appreciate you guys coming on here and talking with me. So thank you. It's been fun. and I kind of wanted. And now, actually, in the comment section for those who are watching, type in the comment section if you want me to do like more like critting quirks for people, because that shit is actually way more addictive than I thought it was gonna be.
I think we should have like a little contest where you try to do it for somebody else. You like what we did for just a couple, but for us now, all in the call, we have to specifically make for our own.
So like that's the challenge.
Yeah, you got to do it for the other person.
Actually, yeah, for the challenge, maybe the subscribers could come up with our own quirks. Like maybe take like because they've seen enough of most of us in these videos to get a general idea of how we are and how we act and everything.
Yeah. So what if they just create their own variations of our own quirks?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like maybe you can come
The
up with
rule is that every quirk has to have a downside. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only rule.
And no having your quirk be all the quirks. We already have a person who does that shit.
Sorry.
No. Why you say sorry like it's your
fault? No, I'm all for one.
Yeah, but I don't know why Kevin's like, I'm God. What?
Punk.
Yeah, all for one is literally my powers have all the powers.
You guys are terrible. Love you.
And yet still gets his ass kicked.
Why is this goose smoking a pipe?
And on that note, let's the gameplay to win. And I will catch you guys later. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Actually, no, we should have said plus ultra.
Yeah.
Plus ultra!
Bye.
Because I'm here.
Kevin! Save the plus in the ultra. Okay, we're good. I guess he's not going to do it. Fuck you.
No.
That was an hour and 43 minutes.
Man, that was fun.
That was
fun.
And
plus ultra.
You bitch.
Shut up, Kate.
I feel bad because there was one section.
What did you say, Polly?
There was one section, I think when you guys first started talking about Bakugo, I was falling asleep.
And then that woke you up?
Actually, that's part of the reason why I mentioned it, because I thought you were falling asleep. I was like, oh, she's going to pass out in the middle.
Quick, bring in the
bring in the go of Baku.